All right, all right. LDBC, this your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison, man. Listen, sad news, man. Boxer Patrick Day lost his life. And, he succumbed to the injuries that he sustained fighting Charles Conwell. The doctors, they had to do emergency brain surgery on Patrick Day's brain. And the thing of it is, y'all, is that when you operate on the brain, it's about a 50-50 chance that you'll recover from that because it's such a complex organ. And when you go in there and you start just, messing around with some of the functions of the brain, you can damage something else. You repair one thing, but you might damage something else. And that's just the complexity of the human brain itself. And before a clown will come over here, man, you prayed for him and he still passed after you prayed for him. You'll have people that'll come up and say something goofy like that. But here go the thing, man. A lot of people prayed for him. A lot of people prayed for Patrick Day. And guys, there are a couple of things that go into play. Like, you honestly and truthfully don't really know what his mental state was after that happened. Because, see, when people are in comas, they're very coherent. A person in a coma is coherent. And there's even been studies that say that a person in a coma, they're coherent. That means that they can actually, understand what's going on around them. You don't know what his mental state was. You don't really know. You don't know if he wanted to continue or if he finally, when his soul left his body and he finally got to go up there and see heaven. I've heard a lot of people, man, that wake up and they died and they come back. And I've seen, I'll tell you a story, man. It was one guy, he had died. I mean, the little thing had went off. And so I started praying for him. And then, about 5 seconds after I said amen, his heart rate started coming back to him. It came back on. And when he woke up, he told me straight up, he said, man, why you praying me back? He told me straight up, he said, why? He said, man, I saw the most beautifulest place that you could ever see. He said, it's beautiful than anywhere on earth. And then he said, all I heard was amen. And he said, man, I'm back in this body. He said, man, why? Like, you really don't know. And I've heard stories like that before. I've heard stories like that before. So, I mean, it's one of those things, man. And many people ask why. And see, there's no answer why. There's no answer why, we prayed and, it didn't happen. There's no answer why. We wanted the prayer to be heard and answered. And I think in a sense, I think the prayer was heard and I think it was answered. I think it was legitimate because he's no longer suffering. He's no longer suffering. And is this going to deter me from praying for anybody else? No. I pray for a lot of people. A lot of people, and some of the people, they don't recover. Some, small few, they don't recover. It is what it is. Because, when you pray for a person, and you pray for them, they have a responsibility too, They got to want to be well. And also, too, it is what it is sometimes. We don't know. And that's why we ask why. But I know that this guy, wherever he is now, he got to be in a better place. He got to be. And he got to be a lot happier than what he is. And I think we need to understand that he's got to be much, much, much happier than what he was when he was here on earth. And it's sad to see such a young guy, man. Sad to see such a young guy go. Because I'm sure he had a lot to offer this world. A lot to offer. I'm sure he did. I'm sure, probably if we even got to know him, probably would have been a guy that, you can deal with, you can hang out with. I'm probably sure he's a guy that you can probably hang out with. I'm sure. But I pray for any of y'all. I pray for any of y'all. Even if it's somebody I can't stand, man. Even if somebody we disagree, it's just boxing talk. This stuff don't matter. Humanity matters. Even people that hate my guts, I pray for them, man. And my question is sometimes, though, I pray for a person that couldn't stand me and they recovered immediately. But then I pray for a person that don't know me and they didn't. See, that's the conversation that me and God will have. And I'll have that conversation with God myself. I'll pray. I'll ask. And I know I'll get an answer. Some answer. But I feel bad that this guy, didn't have the chance to complete, his cycle of life. Yeah. Hey, man, well, rest in power, young brother. Rest in power. And guys, thank y'all for listening to this video. I'm done.